girl power.
Yeah.
It's very true. I got to hang out with some serious power players, including Tina Fey, Alicia Keys, at the famous Cipriani Wall Street. These trailblazing women were being honored for shining a light on some incredible organizations and really helping to change the world. Take a look.
They're 5 fearless females: Tina Fey, Emily Blunt, Tarana Burke, Margaret Atwood, and Alicia Keys, all honorees at this year's Variety magazine Power of Women Luncheon. First up, award-winning writer, producer, and actress Tina Fey.
The name of this event is called The Power of Women. Now more than ever, you feel it and you see its impact, don't you?
You do. You know, a year and a half ago, you'd have your shirt that said the future is female, and it was almost kind of gave you like a bellyache of like, is it though? What's happening? And now, through all of the, even some of the chaotic events and turnover last year, you do really see it. You see a change happening.
Tina is being honored for her work with Reading is Fundamental, which promotes childhood literacy.
Reading is the key to everything, right? Reading is the key to knowledge, to access, to us understanding each other as people and sharing our stories. And I feel like the younger we can get kids to fall in love with reading, the better.
The best piece of advice you've received?
Make things that you yourself would want to watch. Make what you care about and trust your gut.
Tina is inspiring other women like the event's host, Samantha Bee.
Tina Fey, you know, her work ethic is incredible. And I think so many of us understand that the way to really get ahead in this business particularly is to have that tenacious work ethic. To be in there, making yourself indispensable at all times can be just the greatest thing.
Another power player this year is actress Emily Blunt, who is tackling the iconic role of Mary Poppins in the upcoming film Mary Poppins Returns.
It is wonderful to see you.
Yes, it is, isn't it?
How do you take something like that, such an iconic character, and make it your own?
I tried not to get too overwhelmed by the fact that she is so iconic. You know, that was my main focus, was just to read the script. I read the books, and this is ultimately will just be my interpretation. This is my version of her.
Education is also important to Emily through her work with the Malala Fund, an organization set on providing education opportunities to girls all over the world.
It was a cause that felt very close to my heart, being a mother of 2 young girls, the older of which whom absolutely adores going to school. Just the thought of girls being denied that and denied a future where they can work and provide, that seemed so wrong.
It has been a whirlwind year for activist Tarana Burke, founder of the Me Too movement, which she started back in 2006.
What have you been most surprised about when you talk about the Me Too movement? I mean, it crosses age ranges, it crosses races. There's been such power in this.
Yeah, it's a global community. I always say it's a sorority you don't want to join, but once you're in it, you're in it. So that's why Me Too is so powerful, because it's 2 words. It gives language to people to talk about something that's really difficult to talk about, and it also grants connection.
What do you make of the connection with the Me Too movement and Hollywood?
I think an unlikely alliance. People, I think, were very surprised at the way Hollywood not just stood up to talk about something that is really something that we don't talk about, and they really broke the mold doing that. Let's work together. We have visibility and you all have knowledge, and let's work together to make sure that the world changes.
The Handmaid's Tale, now an award-winning show on Hulu, is tackling some hard-hitting issues. The show is based on the book by Margaret Atwood, who first published the dystopian novel in 1985.
What is it like to have created something like that so many years ago and to see it now, you know, decades later, such a huge success?
The people involved in the show, to them, it's not just a show. It's a passion, it's a dedication, and every single actor, the writers, the designers, the directors, they're really invested in it.
At the core of Margaret's cause is improving gender equality with the Canadian Women's Foundation.
It's the largest women's foundation in Canada and one of the 5th largest in the world. But within that umbrella, there's a new site called After Me Too, which is dedicated to structural support for women in the workplace.
Another trailblazer being honored is 15-time Grammy Award-winning singer and songwriter Alicia Keys, who founded Keep a Child Alive in 2003.
When I first started in my career as an artist, directly after that, I took a trip to Africa that really changed my life. I was made aware of the AIDS pandemic in a way that I don't think most people are. About $1 a day can really provide the medicine for children and families who had AIDS and couldn't afford it, as well as the surrounding care.
Whether through her work with Keep a Child Alive or through her music, Alicia wants to empower women.
What does it feel like to have these songs that move people, especially when we're talking about girl power?
People would say, what do you want your legacy to be? What do you want to do? And I wanted, and I still want, to always make people feel something. There's these girls that I see and they'll come up to me and they'll be like, I'm a girl on fire. Having given them those words to know that that's what you are, it's like, I can't even tell you what that means to me.
Oh, that was awesome.
There were so many wonderful moments. So there's more. Just go to Kathy Lee and Hoda, or KLG and Hoda.com. We asked each woman the best piece of advice they've ever received. I think it's worth going and listening to what each woman has to say.
They're all amazing.
By the way, speak of powerful women, I think we're standing next to one, Kath, don't you?
Excuse us, we surely are. What did you finish this weekend?
First of all, you finished a marathon, a half marathon, and second of all, this week
It's your birthday. It's your birthday.
Is it a frog?
Yes,
It's a frog. Come on, gather around the cage.
Since we can't get it off the...
No, but look, wait, Sheinelle, come here, look around the front.
How cute
come on.
is this?
Come on.
Happy birthday, Sheinelle!
We love you.
My goodness, thank you.
Wait, you got to make your wish. Hold on.
Your wish.
You ran a half marathon this weekend, so that's not it.
You ready?
Yep.
There you go. We love you, sweet girl. Great job on the piece. Great job.
Hello, 40.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.